Okay, fellow traders, let's get it popping. First things first, we are using ICT concepts, so always make sure your chart is set to New York time. Otherwise, none of this will work accordingly and it won't make sense. Reason being, my chart is, as you see, very decorated in a specific way that I know. As you start to apply the concept, or if you do mark up your chart, you also do it in your own way. But just so that we have an understanding of what we're looking at together, the white lines show me the beginning of the day. I always highlight the beginning of the day with the white line, and then I highlight 7 a.m., the beginning of the New York session, with the yellow line. We're on the 15 minutes, so it doesn't look so spot on. I hate that. Yeah. Anyway, the purple line is for Sunday's trading, shows me Sunday's trading so that I see that range. And then again, we have Monday, which was yesterday, and then we have 7 a.m. for the beginning of the day's trading. So basically what I'm going to be showing you is how I use ICT's concepts trading NASDAQ 100. So first things first to establish, yesterday was Monday. On Friday, we swept old highs. We swept a previous day high and an old high from somewhere. Previous day, some. Once we did that there, price broke down violently, which is, explosively, which is NASDAQ, as always. I love it for that. Immediately when it did that there, we retraced, created another breaker, and then continued to expand on the downside. So to show you how the strategy works and how I apply it, once I know the bias, so how do you know bias? For me, simple. I'm day trading. I'm not looking at nothing bigger than 15. Now and then, if I want to see like why is price drawing to a certain zone, maybe there's a fair value gap that I can't really see on the 15 minute, I'll switch to 30 minutes, but rarely. So 15 minutes and the 5 minutes is my baby. That's my go-to. Okay, moving forward. So how was this trade formulated right here? I'm going to break that down for you. So I trade in the New York session. So I use the London session just to kind of see what's going on, what is price gravitating to, and things like that there. In the London session, or once I've highlighted the beginning of the day's trading and 7 a.m., I always highlight the London session and I always highlight the London session low and high. And then I highlight any fair value gaps or breakers that stick out. Why? Because price is going to use these points to either swing higher or swing lower. These are, yeah. So moving forward. So right here, we have an order block. This big move here, this breaker here that was created on Friday created this order block here. And then we also created this breaker here, which is a break in market structure. Highlight that there, throw it out to the future, or you can highlight that whole green candle, which I treat like an order block, but it's a breaker block. But yeah, whichever way, whatever works for you. Moving forward, what was I looking for? I was waiting for price to retrace up in here and give me a bearish signal. What was my bearish signal? Right here. So I always have different types of alarms set to my charts so that I'm not just sitting in my chart and then trading. I have to have a narrative. I have to have a certain storyline that I'm going to. I'm not just coming to the chart and then basically what I'm looking for. No, I'm very specific. So to understand this model, to apply this model, you have to be very disciplined. But it's very simple, but it requires discipline. Otherwise, you're going to be in front of the charts just pressing buttons and you're going to wreck yourself. So I wanted to highlight that. Good for you. So at a place where I was anticipating a bearish signal, price gives me that. As simple as that. So price did create this here, right here, but I never like moves where it just wicks into an area where I'm anticipating something. I want the candles to fall in, especially with NASDAQ. NASDAQ wicks a lot, and when it usually does that, that means we might sweep that wick very soon. So I always want the bodies to go into the area where I'm anticipating something. So I was anticipating low prices, and then it took a long time, obviously. Right about lunchtime, signal came through. Why do I say that? High, low, high, high, break in market structure. We are using breakers. As soon as it gives me that, I highlight the break there. Oh, my bad. Highlight the break there, and then I can remove that for you. And then I highlight the order block. Why do I highlight the order block? Because I just need to change a few things on that so that it doesn't disturb. Oh no, it's a red one. So then we made a high, made a low, made a high, high, broke down the market structure. I'm highlighting the green candle with the highest wick, and that becomes the order block. And what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for price to retrace in here, and then this is from the 15 minutes. So everything first that I've broken down, you can do on the 5 minutes or the 15 minutes. But when you are anticipating a signal, always try and get it on the 15 minutes, because then you have a higher time frame, which means it's a slightly bigger trade. But if you're seeing the signal on the 5 minutes, yes, it may be right, but the confidence to stay in it won't be there. Well, that's how it is for me. So I switch over. Damn. I know it looks crazy, but it's my crazy. So then at a place where I was anticipating some kinda signal, I highlight this order block here. Then when price touches this, I put my first move. So we broke down, we touched it, we went in, and what am I aiming for? I'm aiming for the London session low. We day trading, so you never want to be greedy. Like you never want to be greedy. You never want to be greedy. So entering here, where's the London session low? London session low is here. But at the same time, I'm not just going straight for the London session low. That is the bigger move. What will I go for first? Anywhere I see wicks just sticking out like that there. Because why? Price can sweep that area and retrace all the way back. So it's always good to highlight all these zones here, these wicks here, clean wicks there. But then your higher time frame objective, if you understand how to manage a trade, then you can hold to this. But if you're holding it overnight, that's pretty hard to do. So what is going to be the best objective? Low hanging fruit. Never be too greedy. We are day trading, we are scalping pretty much, but I'm just giving you now an idea of what you would have been aiming for. So we created a breaker here, which is seen on the 15-minute chart. So that break in market structure there at a zone where we were anticipating lower prices let me know that I'm good to trade now. I had to wait all that time, and I only had one trade yesterday, and that was good enough for me because it's NASDAQ. I don't want to try and be too slick. I wanna understand the bias, and I wanna flow with it. Cool. Once, so this move came through, delivered perfectly. It went, hit here, and then now I think we're trying to aim for the London low, which we've just, I don't want to say hit. And this is the crazy thing about NASDAQ, that like it can just go to a zone and almost sweep it and not really sweep it. So I'm trying to make this line straight, but I'm struggling. Okay, and then hold on, shift. Okay, yeah, so we didn't sweep the low. We just barely swept the low. So, but that is highly possible. So I hope I've explained this thoroughly, the strategy, how it works. I'll take you back again. The storyline is very important. If you don't have a storyline, you have no business trading. On Friday, we swept old highs. creating a huge bearish breaker. Volatile move. Beautiful. Love it. What do I do when I see that? First, I highlight the break. I draw it out to the future. And then I also highlight the order block because I don't know if price is going to come here and then create that signal, or it's going to come to the small as fair value gap right there and then create that signal, or come all the way to the order block. All I know is that as soon as price touches one of these PD arrays where I am anticipating, then I can look for a trade. Until then, I do nothing. Price gives me a signal by creating a breaker. What kind of breaker? The one that we want for this situation, which is a bearish breaker. We break down. On the 5-minute chart is where you find your entry. Where is the best place to enter? So let me remove this here. So on the 5-minute chart, the best place to enter is always going to be on the break itself. So high, low, high, low, high, high, break. Have a break right there. So what I just did is how you'll see price printing on the 1-minute chart. I like to do that because it's good for my brain. It helps me understand what I'm looking at. And yeah, so price retraces one time, retraces a second time, breaks down. Perfect. What are you aiming for? Low hanging fruit. You never want to be too greedy, especially with NAS100, because it will literally sweep a short-term low and go all the way back up. Even if you have your bias, even if you have your, that you were super bearish, but all of a sudden, it just changed on you. And maybe it's just wicking, or it's news, or it's whatever, but it's NAS100. It's volatile. So I like to scalp this pair. And I'm not scalping all the time. I'm literally looking for like 1 trade a day if I can. Sometimes you'll have a day where it's just going to consolidate a lot, and that's when I don't trade. I like it to move around. That's how I'm able to find my entries. So I hope I've explained that pretty much, but I'll give you another example. So price broke down. We created a bearish fair value gap. Okay, well, it's not a bearish. It's not a bearish. It's what? Buy side inefficiency. So price is moving too fast, going down, but I call them bearish fair value gaps. Don't shoot me. It's just for my slow brain to understand what's going on. And then right here we created another one, and at this point right here we created high, low, high, high, wick through. Wasn't a good break. And then price right here, the reason why I have that highlighted out in purple, so we had a break right there, and this is a trade that but it was a very quick one. I was scalping. I went from, let me show you in the 5-minute chart. So entered there as soon as it touched the purple, which is the break for this. Boom. Entered in the break. What was I aiming for? Quick move. Quick move. I was tempted to aim for this low, but as you see, NASDAQ is just, yeah. If it's burnt you a few times, you learn your lesson the hard way. Quick move, small move, works for me because they compound. I aimed for that, price delivered, moved to the sides.